For many older adults, sipping on a glass of fruit juice feels like a healthy, harmless habit, something familiar, comforting, and even nutritious. After all, it comes from fruit, right? But for seniors managing diabetes, prediabetes, or simply working to maintain steady energy and blood sugar levels, fruit juice can quietly become a major culprit behind unexpected glucose spikes. Despite its natural origins, juice, especially when processed or consumed in large quantities, can deliver a concentrated dose of sugar to the body without the fiber that normally helps slow its absorption. Unlike whole fruits, which contain fiber, pulp, and water to help moderate the speed at which sugar enters the bloodstream, most fruit juices are stripped of these balancing components. What's left is often a clear liquid full of fructose and glucose, absorbed rapidly and capable of causing significant post-meal blood sugar spikes, sometimes even more than sugary sodas. And while some juices are labeled 100% natural or no added sugar, they can still carry a glycemic load high enough to overwhelm the body's insulin response, especially in seniors whose metabolism and insulin sensitivity have already begun to decline with age. Even more concerning is that many older adults continue drinking fruit juice under the impression that it's a health food. Orange juice at breakfast, apple juice as a midday refresher, or grape juice before bed. These seemingly innocent habits may be quietly working against blood sugar control goals, contributing to fatigue, inflammation, and long-term complications when consumed regularly without awareness. The good news is that knowledge is power. By understanding which fruit juices pose the greatest risk to blood sugar stability and why, they can be minimized or replaced with healthier, lower-impact alternatives. In this video, we'll walk you through 6 common fruit juices that can cause significant blood sugar spikes, especially in seniors. You'll learn what makes them risky, how they affect glucose levels, and how to recognize smarter beverage choices that support long-term metabolic health. Let's begin with the first juice, one of the most popular and widely consumed in the world, yet also one of the most blood sugar disruptive for older adults trying to stay on track. Juice number 1, orange juice. A morning favorite that can disrupt blood sugar balance. For decades, orange juice has been a breakfast staple in many American households, especially among older adults who grew up with the belief that it's a wholesome way to start the day. Rich in vitamin C, refreshing, and naturally sweet, it seems like the perfect companion to toast or oatmeal. But for seniors living with diabetes or prediabetes, this sunny beverage can cast a long shadow on blood sugar control. Despite its reputation as a healthy choice, orange juice is one of the most potent fruit juices when it comes to spiking blood sugar. Even when it's labeled 100% pure or not from concentrate, the problem lies in the concentration of natural sugars, especially fructose and glucose, that exist without the balancing presence of fiber. A typical 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains around 21 to 26 grams of sugar, about the same as 2 small oranges, but the juice is absorbed much faster. In whole fruit, the pulp and fiber slow down digestion and glucose absorption, allowing your body to respond gradually. In contrast, juice acts more like a liquid sugar shot, quickly overwhelming the bloodstream with glucose and triggering a strong insulin response. For older adults with reduced insulin sensitivity, this process can result in sharp glucose spikes followed by rapid drops, leading to fatigue, shakiness, and cravings just a few hours later. Take the experience of Harold Hal Bixby, an 83-year-old retired firefighter from Fresno, California. Hal had always prided himself on eating a balanced breakfast, which for most of his adult life included eggs, toast, and a full glass of orange juice. But after being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, his endocrinologist asked him to monitor his blood sugar levels after meals. What he found was surprising. His post-breakfast glucose consistently spiked to over 200 milligrams per deciliter, far higher than he expected. After eliminating the orange juice and replacing it with a glass of water infused with lemon and a sprinkle of cinnamon, Hal's post-meal readings dropped by nearly 60 points within a week. The rest of his breakfast remained the same. It was the juice alone that had been quietly throwing off his blood sugar for years. Scientific studies have confirmed these effects. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that fruit juice consumption, particularly orange juice, was associated with a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes when consumed regularly. Another study demonstrated that whole oranges produce significantly smaller glycemic responses than their juiced counterparts, due to the buffering effects of fiber and slower digestion. For seniors managing their blood sugar, the takeaway is clear. Even natural juices like orange juice can deliver a sugar load too quickly for the body to handle effectively. If the taste is hard to give up, consider squeezing a small wedge of orange into a glass of water for flavor, or enjoying a whole orange with breakfast instead. The fiber will help moderate absorption, and the portion will be far easier on your glucose levels. In summary, orange juice might appear innocent, but for seniors aiming to maintain stable blood sugar, it can be a hidden saboteur. Being mindful of how quickly it converts to glucose in the body and how dramatically it affects insulin can help turn a simple breakfast decision into a smart, supportive step toward better health. Juice number 2, grape juice, a small glass that packs a big sugar punch. While it may come in a small glass, grape juice delivers a surprisingly large impact on blood sugar levels, especially for older adults with diabetes or insulin resistance. Known for its rich, sweet flavor and deep purple color, grape juice has often been marketed as a heart-healthy beverage because of its antioxidant content, particularly resveratrol. However, despite these benefits, the concentrated sugars in grape juice can trigger one of the sharpest post-drink blood sugar spikes of any fruit juice, often rivaling or exceeding that of soda. An 8-ounce serving of grape juice can contain between 35 to 40 grams of sugar, most of it in the form of glucose and fructose. Because the juice lacks the skin, seeds, and fiber found in whole grapes, it passes quickly through the stomach and into the bloodstream, causing a rapid rise in blood glucose. For seniors whose pancreatic function may already be impaired, this sudden spike can overwhelm the body's ability to produce enough insulin to keep up, leading not only to hyperglycemia, but also an energy crash afterward. This was exactly the case for Francine "Franny" Holloway, a 79-year-old retired book editor from Rochester, New York. Franny enjoyed a small glass of grape juice every evening with her dinner, believing it was good for her heart and circulation. But when her doctor suggested she start tracking her blood sugar 2 hours after meals, she discovered her post-dinner readings were consistently well over 200 milligrams per deciliter. At first, she assumed the culprit was her pasta or bread. But after eliminating grape juice for just 1 week, her readings improved by nearly 50 points. She eventually switched to herbal tea with a splash of lemon and reported not only better glucose numbers, but improved digestion and sleep as well. Scientific research reinforces what Franny experienced. A study published in Diabetes Care found that beverages high in fructose, such as grape juice, were associated with significantly elevated blood sugar and triglyceride levels, particularly in older adults. While whole grapes offer fiber and polyphenols that help slow digestion, grape juice strips away those protective elements and delivers a direct surge of sugar into the system. For seniors, it's also important to note the portion sizes. Many people pour more than the recommended 8-ounce serving, unknowingly doubling their sugar intake. Even no sugar added or 100% grape juice versions can spike blood sugar because the naturally occurring sugars are already more than most older adults can process at once. If you enjoy the flavor of grapes, there are better alternatives. Opt for a small handful of whole grapes, ideally paired with a protein like low-fat cheese or almonds to blunt the glucose response. You'll still benefit from the fruit's antioxidants, but in a form that's more blood sugar friendly and far gentler on your system. In conclusion, while grape juice may look elegant in a glass and offer some heart health claims, its effect on blood sugar is far from subtle, especially for seniors managing diabetes. By recognizing the high sugar concentration and how quickly it's absorbed, older adults can make more informed beverage choices and avoid the hidden glucose roller coaster that grape juice so often creates. Juice number 3, apple juice, a childhood favorite that can quietly disrupt blood sugar stability. Among all the fruit juices commonly consumed by older adults, apple juice holds a special place of nostalgia and familiarity. Often seen as a gentle, wholesome drink, especially when labeled no added sugar or 100% juice, it's easy to assume that apple juice is a smart choice for hydration or light refreshment. But for seniors managing diabetes or insulin resistance, this assumption can be risky. Despite its innocent reputation, apple juice is one of the most common hidden sources of post-meal blood sugar spikes, due to its high natural sugar content and lack of fiber. A single 8-ounce glass of apple juice contains about 24 to 28 grams of sugar, largely from fructose and glucose. Unlike eating a whole apple, which offers fiber from the peel and pulp to slow digestion, drinking apple juice delivers a quick, concentrated blast of sugar directly into the bloodstream. This rapid absorption often results in a steep spike in blood glucose, followed by a crash in energy, mood, and cognitive clarity. Something particularly disruptive for older adults, whose glucose regulation may already be compromised due to age or medication. That's exactly what happened to Gerald "Jerry" Fenwick, an 82-year-old retired airline technician from Plano, Texas. Jerry had gotten into the habit of sipping apple juice with his lunch, convinced it was a better choice than soda or sweet tea. He even chose organic brands and carefully measured his portions. But when his endocrinologist advised him to monitor his post-lunch glucose levels, he noticed a troubling trend. Readings regularly soared above 210 milligrams per illith. Thinking the culprit was his sandwich or side of chips, he tried eliminating them, but the spikes persisted. When he finally removed the apple juice, his blood sugar dropped by over 45 points within a week, and he reported feeling more alert and less foggy in the afternoons. The science supports Jerry's experience. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that apple juice caused a significantly higher glycemic response compared to whole apples, even when the sugar content was identical. This is largely due to the lack of insoluble fiber in the liquid form, which causes the stomach to empty faster and glucose to enter the bloodstream more rapidly. Additionally, another report from Harvard School of Public Health showed that individuals who consumed fruit juice regularly, particularly apple juice, had a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those who consumed whole fruit. For seniors who love the flavor of apples but want to protect their blood sugar, a better option would be a sliced apple with peanut butter or a sprinkle of cinnamon, which combines fiber, protein, and a low glycemic profile. Another alternative is to infuse water with a few apple slices and a cinnamon stick for a refreshing beverage that carries the essence of apple without the sugar load. In summary, apple juice may seem gentle and familiar, but for older adults seeking stable blood sugar levels, it can be a hidden trigger of unwanted glucose spikes. Understanding the difference between whole fruit and juice, and how quickly the body responds to liquid sugars, can empower seniors to make smarter choices that preserve both their energy and their long-term metabolic health. Juice number 4, pineapple juice, a tropical treat with a high glycemic cost. Pineapple juice is often viewed as a refreshing, exotic beverage that brings a bit of the tropics to the table. Its bright flavor, natural sweetness, and vitamin C content make it an appealing choice for many older adults who want something more flavorful than water. However, behind its vibrant taste lies a challenge for blood sugar management. Pineapple juice is one of the most glycemic fruit juices available, and it can cause dramatic post-meal spikes, particularly in seniors with diabetes or impaired insulin sensitivity. What makes pineapple juice especially problematic is its combination of high sugar content and a high glycemic index. A single 8-ounce glass contains around 25 to 30 grams of sugar and has a glycemic index of approximately 66 to 70, meaning it enters the bloodstream quickly and causes a sharp rise in glucose levels. Unlike the whole fruit, which contains fiber that slows digestion, pineapple juice lacks the pulp and fibrous content that would normally buffer this effect. It's essentially a concentrated shot of liquid sugar, with very little to slow it down. This became a wake-up call for Dolores "Dolly" Wakefield, a 78-year-old former event coordinator from Scottsdale, Arizona. Dolly began drinking pineapple juice in the afternoons, thinking it would boost her energy and immunity. She enjoyed it cold with ice, sometimes sipping it alongside a light snack or simply as a midday refresher. But she started noticing that she felt jittery, then tired, and often craved sweets not long after drinking it. Curious about her fluctuating energy levels, she began checking her blood sugar. To her surprise, her post-juice readings soared well above 200 milligrams per L. After cutting pineapple juice from her daily routine and replacing it with herbal iced tea and slices of actual pineapple eaten with a handful of almonds, she saw her numbers drop by more than 50 points and felt significantly more stable throughout the day. Scientific studies support what Dolly observed. Research in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Metabolism confirms that high GI fruit juices like pineapple can cause rapid glucose spikes in older adults, especially when consumed without protein or fat to slow absorption. Furthermore, the liquid form passes through the digestive tract faster than whole fruit, eliminating the natural speed bumps that help regulate how sugar enters the bloodstream. For seniors craving pineapple flavor but looking to avoid sugar surges, a wiser choice would be to enjoy a few small chunks of fresh pineapple with a source of healthy fat, like yogurt, chia pudding, or nuts. This slows digestion and helps prevent the roller coaster effect of pure juice. Alternatively, infused water with pineapple, mint, and cucumber can deliver flavor without the sugar load. In conclusion, while pineapple juice may taste like a tropical vacation in a glass, for seniors focused on blood sugar control, it's a sweet trap that often does more harm than good. By understanding the metabolic consequences of high GI juices and choosing whole fruit alternatives instead, older adults can enjoy flavor and nutrition without risking the blood sugar spikes that sap energy and threaten long-term health. Juice number 5, cranberry juice. Tart in taste, surprisingly high in sugar. Cranberry juice is often associated with urinary tract health, antioxidants, and digestive support. Because of its tart flavor, many seniors assume it must be lower in sugar than sweeter juices like apple or orange. But the truth is, most cranberry juices on the market, especially those labeled cocktail or sweetened, contain added sugars that can rapidly spike blood glucose, making it a hidden danger for older adults managing diabetes or insulin resistance. An 8-ounce serving of cranberry juice cocktail can contain anywhere from 28 to 36 grams of sugar, depending on the brand. Even varieties labeled 100% juice are often blended with sweeter fruit juices like grape or apple to improve taste, further increasing their glycemic impact. Because the tartness of cranberries masks the perceived sweetness, it's easy to underestimate how much sugar is actually being consumed and how significantly it can affect blood sugar levels after a meal. This was exactly what happened to Norbert "Nobby" Ramirez, an 81-year-old retired postal worker from Toledo, Ohio. Nabi started drinking cranberry juice in the evenings after reading that it might help prevent urinary issues. He chose a well-known brand labeled 100% cranberry juice blend and drank a small glass nightly before bed. Within a few weeks, he noticed that his morning fasting blood sugar was consistently 25 to 40 points higher than usual, despite no major changes in his diet. After consulting his diabetes nurse, he learned that his juice contained more than 30 grams of sugar per serving, comparable to a can of soda. Once he stopped drinking it and replaced it with unsweetened herbal tea and a glass of water infused with a few fresh cranberries, his fasting readings returned to normal. Scientific evidence confirms the challenges cranberry juice poses. A study published in the Journal of the American Dietetics Association noted that commercially available cranberry juice cocktails can have a high glycemic load, especially when consumed on an empty stomach or before bed, when the body's insulin response is naturally lower. Even unsweetened cranberry juice, while lower in sugar, remains extremely tart and is rarely consumed without dilution or added sweeteners, both of which can negate its potential health benefits for people with diabetes. For seniors looking to gain the benefits of cranberries without the blood sugar risk, a better option is to consume whole fresh or dried cranberries in small amounts, paired with a low glycemic food like plain yogurt or oatmeal. Another alternative is brewing unsweetened cranberry tea or adding a few whole cranberries to a warm mug of herbal tea for a subtle infusion. In short, cranberry juice may come with health claims and a reputation for wellness, but when it comes to blood sugar, it often delivers far more sugar than protection, especially when consumed daily or in large amounts. By reading labels carefully, avoiding sweetened versions, and seeking out gentler alternatives, seniors can support their overall health while keeping their glucose levels stable and predictable. Juice number 6, pomegranate juice, a nutrient-rich beverage with a hidden sugar surge. Pomegranate juice is often praised for its antioxidant power, anti-inflammatory benefits, and potential heart health properties. For seniors aiming to support cardiovascular wellness, it's easy to see why this deep red juice might seem like a smart addition to the diet. However, despite its healthful reputation, pomegranate juice is extremely concentrated in natural sugars, and when consumed in liquid form, it can cause sharp and rapid blood sugar spikes, especially in older adults with type 2 diabetes or impaired insulin sensitivity. An 8-ounce glass of pomegranate juice contains approximately 32 grams of sugar and virtually no fiber. That's equivalent to the sugar content in more than 2 servings of soda. Unlike eating whole pomegranate seeds, which offer fiber to slow digestion and sugar absorption, the juice delivers its sugar content all at once, making it metabolically challenging for the body to process, particularly for seniors whose insulin response may already be delayed or weakened. This effect caught Cleo Mendoza, a 77-year-old retired art teacher from Santa Barbara, California, by surprise. Cleo had recently read an article touting the heart-healthy properties of pomegranate juice and decided to begin drinking a small glass with lunch each day. She was already taking steps to manage her blood sugar, including walking daily and eating more vegetables, so she was disappointed to see her post-lunch glucose readings jump from 140 to nearly 200 within just a few days of adding the juice. Her dietitian reviewed her food log and quickly identified the culprit. Cleo replaced the juice with a few tablespoons of fresh pomegranate seeds tossed into a salad, and within a week, her post-meal readings dropped by 50 points. The seeds still gave her the antioxidant boost she wanted, without the glucose spike she couldn't afford. Scientific research supports this distinction between whole fruit and juice. A study published in Nutrition Research found that while pomegranate juice contains powerful polyphenols and antioxidants, its high natural sugar content and lack of fiber made it problematic for individuals with impaired glucose tolerance. Another study in diabetes and metabolic syndrome noted that participants with type 2 diabetes experienced elevated postprandial blood sugar levels after drinking even moderate amounts of pomegranate juice, especially when consumed without food to slow absorption. For seniors who still want to enjoy the unique flavor and benefits of pomegranate, the best option is to enjoy the seeds whole, ideally paired with protein or fat, such as sprinkled over plain Greek yogurt, mixed into quinoa, or eaten with a small handful of nuts. These combinations slow digestion, moderate the glycemic impact, and offer a more balanced nutrient profile. In conclusion, while pomegranate juice is often marketed as a super drink, it can act like a super sugar bomb for seniors trying to manage blood glucose. The key lies in recognizing that health claims don't always equal blood sugar safety, and that even beneficial nutrients need to be delivered in the right form to truly support wellness. For those prioritizing stable energy, metabolic control, and long-term vitality, whole pomegranate seeds are the better path forward. Colorful, flavorful, and kind to your glucose. For many older adults, drinking fruit juice is a long-standing habit, one that feels familiar, refreshing, and even healthy. But as we've uncovered in this video, fruit juice can be a hidden and powerful driver of blood sugar spikes, especially in seniors managing type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or insulin resistance. Whether it's orange juice at breakfast, grape juice in the evening, or a midday glass of pomegranate or cranberry juice, these drinks, though natural, can deliver a sugar surge that the aging body is no longer equipped to handle efficiently. Unlike whole fruits, which provide fiber to slow digestion and moderate glucose absorption, fruit juices strip away that fiber and concentrate the sugars, turning them into fast-acting carbohydrates that enter the bloodstream almost immediately. For seniors, whose metabolism and insulin response may already be slower due to age or medication, the impact is even more pronounced. What seems like a harmless beverage can, in fact, lead to sharp post-meal glucose spikes, energy crashes, and long-term strain on the body's insulin production. But this doesn't mean seniors have to give up flavor or refreshment. It simply means making more thoughtful, informed choices. Infused water with herbs and fruit slices, unsweetened herbal teas, and low-glycemic smoothies made with whole fruits and fiber-rich ingredients are just a few examples of alternatives that hydrate and satisfy without destabilizing blood sugar. By becoming more aware of how different fruit juices affect glucose levels and understanding the metabolic differences between whole fruits and their juiced counterparts, seniors can take back control of their health, one sip at a time. Swapping out high-sugar juices for smarter options doesn't require sacrifice. It requires intention and a willingness to honor the body's changing needs with every choice. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Active Healthcare, where we bring you science-based, senior-friendly strategies to support better blood sugar, vibrant energy, and lifelong wellness. Let us know in the comments, which juice surprised you most, and what change are you planning to make this week? Because managing blood sugar isn't just about what's on your plate, it's also about what's in your glass. And with the right knowledge and support, you can nourish your health every day, one refreshing, responsible choice at a time.